Hi guys, my name is Ashley Watson and welcome back to my channel. This is a mini-series. This is the second episode of the mini-series where I talk about philosophy and law and do my makeup. This episode is going to be on Kimberly Crenshaw's Intersectionality. I'll speak a little bit about Sojourner Truth and her story. I'll also speak about bringing awareness to missing murdered Indigenous women, two-spirited people. I'll also talk about a little bit about true crime. Alright, so with further ado, let's get started. So I think I'm going to start with the base. While I'm doing my foundation, I'll start by talking about Kimberly Crenshaw and what I mean by intersectionality. People were always thinking about doing movements for either like feminism, so like strictly like women groups, or there'll be males fighting for the rights of Black people. And Kimberly Crenshaw was like, well, you're missing a whole demographic of people, because the people that fall through the cracks would be women that had compounding discrimination against them. So in particular, Black women. She's really interested in talking about Black women and how, because they belong to two groups, they're more likely to get discriminated against, which you see time and time again, especially like young women, old women, more susceptible to like violence. People that belong to like racialized groups be met with more violence is basically what she says. And there are other people that agree with Kimberly Crenshaw as well. Kendall, she wrote the book Hood Feminism. That's a really good one. Just to learn about what Black women go through. Even like in the media, how it's like geared toward white women, not really like Black women and their experiences. I just really love Kimberly Crenshaw and intersectionality. I feel like I'm drawn to her some way. I really like understand what she's saying, I guess, and I really believe in what she's saying. Another person that I really liked, that I like didn't know anything about before, her name is Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth, she had a bunch of kids, and it was so sad. A lot of them were sold, like because they were born slaves. She was a slave, so a lot of them were sold, and only one of them, like I think there was more than 5. One of them was actually sold illegally, and she took on the law, a Black woman back in those days, and she ended up winning, and she got her son back, which I just thought was like so amazing and such like a amazing story. And like I don't know anything like where her husband was, or if she had a husband or what, but like that's just amazing that she did that. And like how heartbreaking it would be to have your children sold away from you, and like to different plantations where you like can never see them again. Just like amazing what women had to go through back in those days. I just couldn't imagine. But yeah, so she ended up becoming like this huge activist, and she really like was great like public speaker. She wrote this one reading that we had to do in class, and it was called Will If I Ain't a Woman? Something like that. Anyways, it was so good. She like, it was more like poetic in a sense. Like she's basically saying like ain't I a woman? Like, ain't I worth something in the world? Like, just because I'm not a man doesn't make me any less. Like, I can do anything that a man can do and better, like, basically. And she's, like, basically saying, like, women deserve respect in the community. And, yeah, so she was getting, like, lots of followings. Lots of publicity and stuff like that, because there's like a lot going on with like feminist movements and things, so she was like a part of that. But being like a black woman who used to be a slave, like that's like a lot to have to there's a lot of hurdles for somebody. Gorgeous. This is the best blush. She was really cool. She was a big public speaker, and like even I read a little bit into her, like into her biography, clearly. And one of the times that she was speaking out in public, this guy is like, they were like heckling her and being like, "Boo, boo, you're a man. She's actually a man." Like trying to be rude like that. And she literally just like takes out one tit and just like flashes the crowd, and everyone's like, she's like, "I ain't no man." I just thought she was so cool after that. Yeah, like her as a black woman, she's fighting for social rights and rights for not only women but black women as well. Now I'm wondering if I should go red lip or red shadow. I've never done a red shadow look before. Look, and I got red nails too. Next topic on the old docket. Missing Murdered Indigenous Women Awareness. What this look is inspired by. Something that's like dear to my heart. Bringing awareness to the subject because I find that there's too many missing Indigenous women, murdered Indigenous women in this world, and violence against Indigenous women is on the rise, it seems. Presentation for the class, and I chose intersectionality and feminism. And talked about the case of the murdered Indigenous women's, like the Robert Picton farms, and how frightening that was, and how the downtown east side of Vancouver is still like such a violent place for Indigenous women, especially. We can see in the news still to this day there's missing, murdered Indigenous women, their bodies being found in the downtown east side, or mysteriously found at like outside of mansions, like their bodies dumped. I just think that that is so scary. And it's not even like one of the girls that went missing and was found in a closet. She was a relative of mine. I'm gonna do like a halo eye. I'm just blending this out. And then gonna clean it up. Oops. So, one of the missing girls was actually a distant relative of mine, and she was found in a closet. She was 14 years old, and she ran away from her foster care home, which is pretty commonplace story, actually. Not that everyone is murdered, but kids running away from foster care. I look like I should be in a Tim Burton movie. It's pretty scary, like, as a mother of a daughter who's Indigenous and will be raised Indigenous. It's scary to think that people might think that just because she's Indigenous that, you know, she could be treated in such a way. And Hobbes is partly to blame for the way that he portrayed Indigenous people, because it allows people to be able to treat you less than human, which isn't fair. The way that the government treats Indigenous people creates the pathologies and white settlers to be able to treat Indigenous women and Indigenous people as such as well. There's no repercussions for the way that you treat Indigenous peoples, then you feel like you could get away with such behavior, which is unfortunate and sad. Because Robert Pickton, in his case, he almost made it to 50 women. He said before he got caught he was going to do one more and make it 50. Majority of these women were Indigenous. Robert Pickton, oh my god, he's so scary. What a scary freaking dude. Yeah, like how he just like got other women to help him like kill people, and how like a lot of people could have known what he was doing and nobody tried to stop him. I think is the worst part. Red is hard to work with. So yeah, we did that, and at the end of my project I showed pictures of my auntie and my cousin Christina, because like I just wanted to, not to like be like boo-hoo me, but like I just wanted to show like the class that like the missing and murdered Indigenous women aren't all like, you know, people living on the downtown east side. They're could be pillars of a community back home, and people that are, you know, well to do, and not just down and out all the time. Like they could be like women who have families and are raising children, and you know, who help the community, and Because, like, my Auntie Linda and my cousin Christina, they were, like, such innocent people. And, you know, my Auntie Linda would every year help at the, like, Easter extravaganzas and the Halloween parties and decorate the band hall for Christmas. And, like, everybody knew her and loved her. And every year her house would be, like, the most decorated on the res. And, you know, she just was just, like, that type of person. Was just a sweet lady who was, like, trying to help a transient worker and, like, tried to find love. And I really miss my Auntie Linda and my cousin Christina. Just my cousin Christina especially, because she was only 15 when she was murdered, and she was just trying to protect my auntie and just trying to make sure that my auntie was, like, okay. And, you know, she just was trying to be there for her. And it's just sad that he took her too. Just will always miss them and think about them. And I think it's just, like, so important to bring awareness to this, because, like, if you don't talk about it, then, like, nobody knows what's going on. That's a sad reality in Canada. On to another not so sad topic. Well, actually, sorry guys, every topic today is sad. And there's just no getting over it. We just gotta get through it, okay? I was talking about at the time the new Jeffrey Dahmer series that just came out. Tell me you watched it. It was so good. But it was also quite scary and, like, super sad. And, like, so I talked a lot about, like, feminism today and, like violence against women. But intersectionality, like, means that, like, men can also be targets to violence, and, like, be victims to intersectionality as well. I talked about the Tony Hughes episode because he was a man, but he was a homosexual man, and he also suffered from ableism because he was deaf, and he was also a black man. So that had, like, there was 3 large factors that really put him on the fringes of society. And that's all it takes for some people. Like, in the episode you see, like, him struggling to find work. Another factor too, you know, he came from humbler means. He had a more humbler background. Really set people up for violence towards them, which is really, 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 really sad. Oh my goodness, it looks so messy. Yeah, that's what made Tony Hughes, you could argue, that's what made him a target, because Jeffrey Dahmer picked on people that were victims of society, social outcasts, because he himself was a social outcast, because he was a weirdo, and he just wanted all of his boyfriends to stay, but they always left, and then he just tried to drug them, and it just was a bad scene. Guys, actually turned out not bad. That episode really moved me. I think I actually cried. Like, I was just like, how could you? Because, like, I think he actually really loved Tony. Well, in the series, they really make it seem like he was, like, gonna try to change for Tony. But of course, that's not what happened, because he's a doucher. He kept, like, some of his body parts. Tony's. And I just think that's so sickening and creepy. So what do you guys think I should do for lips? Or what do I do? Do I do this? Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. I feel like I need to do brows too. I think it looks cute. It's kind of like festive too. I think it needs a more blush. And some brows. Oh, not that one. This guy. Wish me luck. Oh. I got my eyebrows laminated, but they went curly. I don't know how that happened. And always let your conscience be your guide. Give me a little whistle. Me and my daughter watch Pinocchio. I love my daughter because she watches all the classics. Okay, everybody, I think this is the finished look. I hope that you liked it, that you enjoyed getting ready with me today, learning a little bit about the philosophy and law. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, like, have a good day. Good night.